Hey guys, welcome to another episode in the How to Solo Eve series. And I'm gonna struggle so much saying the correct entrance thing in my videos because I wanted to say Jesse's Town Tips. And that's my other series. In case you guys don't know about that series yet, in Jesse's Town Tips, I go to other people's towns and we basically just give tips about things that can be better. Now, I do have to say, I am delighted. Yesterday, I joined a town that had exactly this setup with the oven and the tables and the shelves. And they were still building their kitchen, but it felt to me like they were following the tutorials. And that makes me so happy that, to see that people are learning and are using these tips, even though they themselves are still new players. So in today's video, let's cut to the chase. We are going to dye some clothes red. And you might say, why red, Jesse? Why not any other color? I'm going to go for red because I'm going to teach you guys how to do a few Christmassy things in the upcoming videos. And red is something that works for practically all the white clothes that we have. So first we have to separate the clothes that we can dye from what we can't dye. So we have these lovely little hats. Those can be dyed. This can be dyed red. Now, wool clothes have a few limitations. So if you look at the wool clothing, you first have to simmer it in dye mordant, which is basically alum, which you see over here. So once it's ready, it can only become blue, red, or green. There's no yellow option for this, which I think is kind of sad because I think it would look great. You might say, is that going to be added? The answer is most likely just no. It probably won't be added. If it's not in the game already, it's not gonna be in there. There are other clothes that are not available in every single color that exists. So yeah, that's just something we're gonna have to get used to. So red doesn't work on leather, so the leather cannot be dyed at all. Oh, we have these little booties. Those definitely need to be dyed as well. So let's dye those booties. And then there's all the clothes that I'm wearing that need to be dyed. Let me also double check what Eerie has. Eerie has a pants. And Eerie, I know Eerie loves black pants, but she's not having any luck because we're not dyeing anything black today. We're just gonna go for a very simple red clothing dye. If you're like, okay, red clothes, fine. Is that the easiest thing to dye? It is one of the easiest things to dye for sure. So what I kind of do is I make a circle of clothing and I keep two empty spots in here because this is where the fires will go. Now I'm also going to put on a little bit of clothes in the meanwhile because I don't want to be freezing my ass off. So let's change into something simpler. Let us start by gathering two bowls that are empty. That's one bowl. That is two bowls. We need some water. Let's place the water a little closer. So in one of those bowls of water, we're going to put this alum, and in the other bowl of water, we need to put rose madder. So rose madder is found in the yellow biome and is one of the plants we find in the yellow biome. So we're just going to look around. That's rose madder. Look, it looks quite a bit like teosinte. Teosinte is what you use to get corn, in case you forgot. So rose madder is this thing. And we just need a sharp stone. And we cut it. Once I press the right buttons on my keyboard. And this is what rose madder root looks like. Now also in real life, I don't know if you know anything about dyeing clothes naturally. This works the same. It's rose madder. The blue stuff, we already dyed blue paper at the start. That was done with lavender. So if you're like, I prefer blue over red, go for lavender. But we are going to go for rose madder like this. And then we need to make a fire. So let's see, let's get this. And we need to take two of these with us because we will need to make two fires over here. And we take this. And if you're like, oh, Jess, you said you're going to do more videos that are sort of Christmas themed. Yes, that is the plan. I want to do more videos with recipes that will let you be a good host or a good guest to your eves if you join other towns. so that if you do join another town, you can give gifts, etc. There's also cotton blend cloth here, but this is not something that can be dyed red. This can be dyed pink, black, or blue, and you can make very lovely clothes with that. I wonder if I should do a pink dye, though, at the same time. We can dye this thing pink as well. I think dyeing this pink might be a good idea. Yeah, we can do that later. Let's see. The pink dye is not very difficult, by the way. We're just doing that while the fire goes out. So basically touch one of the pink flowers. So pink peony or pink delphinum, and you get pink flower petals. Then you take that to an empty bowl. You put that in there. And then with this, oh, you need more. It's more than one. It's two of them. Hold on. We need more. Take it from the delphinium. And we need more? Three. Okay, and then crush it. That's pink dye, basically. So that's another dye that we now have. All right, and this is down. So the dye, the pink one will do later, so no worries. So put your 2 bowls of water on the fire. Put in both at the same time, I'd say, for a small section like this. If you dye something in alum and then you walk away for 3 minutes and you come back, it's going to be too late. Everything will revert back to this stage undyed, but that's not what we want. So we put both of them in there at the same time. Undyed becomes dye ready, and then it becomes red. See? So you basically touch the simmering dye more than first, and then the other one. Oh, and I'm already doing it wrong. There we go. Dip, dip. Dip, dip. Dip, dip. Dip, dip. Oh yeah, that's a nomad scarf. Nomad scarves go from white to brown if you use the red one. So that's not something you have in red. That's something you only have in brown. But because we don't have brown dye, you need to use the rose madder dye. Actually, in real life, I would say that if you use rose madder, it turns out more of a brownish color than anything else. So at this moment, we got all this done. And we want to get the pink powder done. Now, you can't remove these dye mordants from the fire. They last for 2 minutes, and then they stop working. So now I can put on new clothes. It's been a long while since we've worn anything new. There we go. Look at this. It's gonna be so weird not being dressed in white. I've worn the same outfit for like 40 episodes. So it's gonna be nice walking around like this. Let us get the pink dye going as well. Let's see. And we're only doing one thing pink, and that is the cotton blend cloth. Now, we didn't have a lot of clothes we could have done pink. Out of the clothes we had, we know that the wool doesn't go pink, but we also, it means like the wool knitted clothes, but also wool regular clothes do not go pink. What does go pink is the ball gown, and I think we had a ball gown, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, we did have a ball gown, so the ball gown could have been done in pink, but we didn't have pink, so this is the way it is. And then this just goes in there. I'm gonna scoop up the wood ash because I do need to process some more mines at some point, and I need to dynamite, and I'm gonna put the wood ash at the chemistry lab. It is using a few bowls that I might want to use for other things, but I mean, it's fine. Let's just put the wood ash over here, because that is part of chemistry, I suppose. And let's also eat some fruit before the video is over. There, this thing is still going down. You might be like, Jesse, you can make the fire go down faster by moving this. But at the same time, look, it's already out now. At the same time, I don't mind this extra minute because it's just, you know, the video is not very long as it is. I don't mind it being 10 minutes and just chatting to you guys a little bit. So we put the simmering water on again. We dump in the pink dye. And now we have a pink cotton blend cloth. Now this thing can be used in a threaded sewing machine. And then we can make a dress with that, a pink dress. So let's go up here. There is a sewing machine here. It is threaded. You put it through the sewing machine, and now you have a long dress like this. I'd say it doesn't match the pink shoes, but that's just me. We can, however, make this dress short. I personally prefer these dresses to be short compared to long. If you want them to be short, all you need to do is take your shears and shear them. You can even be wearing them. There we go. And now it's a short dress. There we go. So that is a short cotton dress that we have now. Also the nomad scarf, let me just show you. Look, it's brown now, which makes it kind of match pretty well with the leather apron. It's not exactly the same brown, but you know, still kind of cute. I personally prefer just red clothes over leather clothes, but yeah, this is some stuff we have now. That was it for today's dyeing video. There are many different dyes for you to explore, so blue and red are the easiest. Yellow requires you to kill a cow with a mango leaf. It is quite something. Look it up on 2Tech, it is kind of fun. And if you have yellow and blue, you can mix those into green. The red is, the pink is something I just showed you. 3 pink petal leaves and you crush them and then you get a pink dye, so that is very easy as well. Black dye is kind of difficult because you need vinegar as well as rust, but at the same time it's a good recipe. It's like if you're looking for a challenge and you've never done it before, look on 2Tech how to make it. You will be occupied for a little bit in a town that doesn't have vinegar yet, but in a town like this one, you could probably make it in 10 to 15 minutes as well. It's just a fun recipe to go through. And black is a very lovely color. A lot of towns have a lot of black clothes because it's so much fun and it looks very stylish. The other color that is least common is purple. To get anything purple, you need to find a snail. And if you were witness to the River Run family, which ran in the summer, which was the longest living 2 hours, 1 life family ever, that family had basically a vault, and in the vault was a snail on a rock. And you could go look at the snail on the rock because most people had never seen that because it was so rare. So people would go outside of the vault and look at the snail. And I would teach my children, like, look, that's the snail. That's what makes purple dye. Yeah, purple dye is super, super rare. So it's something a lot of people look for, but you can spend days riding around looking for a rock in the water that has a tiny little snail on it. And it's not like you see you only see 2 little antenna. That's all you see is 2 little antenna on a rock. And then you know, oh, that's the snail. And then you have to go to the rock because sometimes it's not by the border of the water. You need to go into it. And then you need to pull it off. You crush the snail. And that gives you enough dye for 5 pieces of clothing. And that's basically so that you can make 2 shoes, pants, a shirt, and a hat purple. And then you can choose which type of hat, of course. You know, you can choose if it's this type of hat or if it's like a bow or any of the silk hats that they have. So yeah, but not all clothes are possible in pink and purple either, because like this dress is not purple. Wool clothes cannot be purple if they're knitted. Linen can be purple though, like this one. This is one of my favorite hats, to be honest. Like the linen stuff. So yeah. Anyway, I hope you guys learned something new, and I hope you guys are not afraid to dye your clothes now and make your town prettier. I personally, I think it's great to find colored clothing in a town. And it's also, if you are in a town and it's an Eve town and you see there's a bit of white clothes and no colored clothes yet, go and impress them. Look for alum. Oh yeah, I didn't mention where to find alum. I did it in one of the previous videos, but maybe you have skipped that video or you've forgotten. Alum can be found in biomes like this in the desert. So if you go to the desert, you might find alum sometimes. However, it is quite rare. You might need to look for a few deserts before you find alum. There are other places you can get alum from specific types of mines in the desert biome as well. If you blow up a mine in the desert biome, you could get some alum from there. I don't have that in this town, so I can't show you. And we just used the only alum we had. So if we want to dye something another color now, or in the future, if we make a new set of clothes that we wish to dye, we will need to look for more alum in the desert, just so you know. It's going to be on the floor. You don't need to, it's not an item or something. It's just going to be lying on the floor. That's what you need to know. Okay, guys. I hope you had something new to learn in this video. And if not, let me know if you have any additions to make. What is your favorite color to make your clothes in? Do you have a favorite color? I personally really like red. But honestly, I'm also happy with yellow and blue and green. I love all the colors in the game, so it doesn't really matter that much. Yeah, I hope you guys have a great day, and remember, eat yum, eat me.